A brief history of the coal miners' strike.
6,000 men in the Yorkshire mining district, the biggest, most elite group of Britain's miners and Arthur Scargill's personal power base, have been called out on strike next Monday. The immediate cause of the strike is the closing of one pit for economic reasons.
The coal miners' strike of 1984 to 85 was a major industrial action affecting the British coal industry. The strike was undertaken by the National Union of Mine Workers, or also known as NUM, led by Arthur Scargill, although some NUM members considered the strike to be unconstitutional and did not observe it. The BBC has referred to the strike as the most bitter industrial dispute in British history. Coal mining, though nationalised in Britain by Clement Attlee's Labour government in 1947, was encouraged to gear itself towards reduced subsidies. In the 1980s, following the 1979 election of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, tensions between Thatcher's government and public unions mounted as the administration considered the NUM to interfere with the market, risking public inflation. 2 million manufacturing jobs were lost between 1979 and 1981, which some ascribe to Thatcherian policies and others see it as the inevitable result of decades of nationalisation of unproductive industries in the face of rising competition from lower-cost producers. Following a narrowly averted strike in 1981, the government announced on the 6th of March 1984 its intention to close 20 coal mines, revealing as well the plan in the long term to close over 70 pits. Mass walkouts and strikes began following this revelation in March, including the widely reported Battle of Arhur between 5,000 miners and 5,000 police officers.
It's worth fighting to try and get jobs for your children. I mean, you see nowadays, anywhere you go, I mean, all these young kids leaving school and there's no jobs. I mean, it's just hopeless for them.
This year, as before in our history, we've seen men and women with brave hearts defying violence, scorning intimidation, and defending their rights to uphold our laws. By their action, we have seen a new birth of leadership in Britain. And that is the most important thing, the most enduring thing that is going to come out of this coal strike. A new birth of leadership.
He was mobbed by miners who chanted their support, but eventually he made his way to his car, and after a kiss from an admirer, he left vowing to return to the Arhur picket line.
The strike ended on the 3rd of March 1985 following a NUM vote to return to work. It was a defining moment in British industrial relations, and its defeat significantly weakened the British trade union movement. It was also seen as a major political victory for Margaret Thatcher and the Conservative Party. The strike became a symbolic struggle, as the NUM was one of the strongest unions in the country, viewed by many, including Conservatives in power, as having brought down the Heath government in the union's 1974 strike. Unlike the strikes in the 1970s, the later strike ended with miners' defeat, and the Thatcher government was able to consolidate its fiscally conservative programme. The political power of the NUM and of most British trade unions was severely reduced. 3 deaths resulted from events around the strike, 2 pickets and a taxi driver taking a non-striking miner to work.
The pickets were in angry mood, furious that 6 NUM members had gone back to work yesterday. This morning that number had increased to 7.
Well, I think the unions are obviously one body where a fanatical, tiny fanatical minority can and seem to be able to take over a whole union and then say that they represent the whole union.
Lots of women feel right good when they're going down their streets shopping and they've got £50 or so, and that is for food. I get up on a Wednesday morning night for a gyro for £13.70.
The police advanced. clambering over the debris of bricks and trees torn down by the pickets. They advanced in stages and the pickets retreated.
We've raised production by 9%. We're going to be the only industry in Britain that's kicked in the teeth for doing so well.
The remaining, much reduced coal industry was privatised in December 1994, ultimately becoming a firm known as UK Coal. While in 1983 Britain had 174 working coal mines, by 2009 this number had decreased to 6. Poverty increased in former coal mining areas, and an EU study on deprivation in 1994 found that Grimethorpe in South Yorkshire was the poorest settlement in the country. In 2013 the UK consumed 60 million tonnes of coal. 50 million tonnes were imported.
And the industry? It may be weak, but it ain't beat yet.